Hey everyone, before we begin, I just want to remind you that if you find this content helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support really helps keep this community growing, and it means the world to me that you're here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Siren, and I am genuinely thrilled to have you with me today because what we're about to talk about could be the single most important financial update for pensioners and soon to be retirees. In 2025, you work your entire life paying into the system for decades. You wake up early for work, come home exhausted, pay your taxes and national insurance without fail, and you do all of it believing that one day, when the time comes, you'll finally get to breathe. You'll finally get to step into retirement with some peace of mind. But now, when that long-awaited time arrives, the questions start bubbling up. How much will I actually get? Will it arrive when I need it most? And perhaps the most worrying of all, will it even be enough to live a life with dignity? If you've been asking yourself those questions lately, you are not alone. All across the UK, thousands of people are waking up to headlines about major pension changes for 2025. And instead of feeling reassured, they're left scratching their heads and feeling just as confused as before. It can feel like a game where the rules keep changing, and if you don't know exactly what's going on, you can find yourself losing out without even realizing it. The truth is, this year brings a wave of changes to how pensions work, and if you don't know about them, you could end up with less than you deserve. It doesn't matter whether you're just a few months from retirement or you've already started collecting your state pension. What you do now could shape your income for years to come. And with the cost of living climbing higher each month, every pound really does matter. So let's peel back the layers and look at what's changing, what's at risk, and how to protect yourself. Because understanding these updates could be the difference between stretching every pound with anxiety or finally enjoying the retirement you've worked so hard for. Here's where it starts: the numbers. 2025 will bring an increase to the state pension thanks to the triple lock. You've probably heard of it. It's the promise that the state pension will rise each year by the highest of inflation. Average earnings growth, or 2.5%. Over the past few years, there have been endless debates about whether the government might scrap it to save money, and many pensioners have spent sleepless nights wondering if that little bit of security might vanish. But for now, the triple lock is holding. That means your weekly payment will be rising again in 2025. But here's the catch that trips up so many people. Not everyone will get the full amount. A lot of pensioners assume that hitting state pension age automatically unlocks the full new state pension. But that's not how it works. The amount you receive depends on your national insurance record and whether you're under the old system. The new system, or a combination of both. Imagine this. You're expecting the full new state pension rate because that's what you heard in the news. But then you check your first payment and it's hundreds of pounds less per month than expected. This is happening to people right now. And the worst part is that many don't realize they could do something about it. Here's what the DWP doesn't always explain clearly. You can often boost your pension if you're short on qualifying years. If you took time off to raise children, care for a loved one, or worked in low-income roles, you may have gaps in your national insurance record. Those gaps can cost you thousands over your retirement. But here's the good news. There are ways to fill them. You might be able to buy back missing years, claim carers credits, or secure credits for past child benefit years that were never linked to your record. These options can make a huge difference, but there's a time limit. Some of the windows for topping up are closing soon, and waiting could cost you the chance to boost your lifetime income. And then there's the matter of timing. Many people still think 65 is the magic number for collecting the state pension, but that's no longer the case. Right now, the state pension age is 66 for most people, and it's moving to 67 in the coming years. That might not sound like much, but for someone who has spent decades dreaming of leaving work at 65, that extra year can feel like an eternity. Missing that reality in your planning can mean a painful gap with no income unless you've prepared for it. Beyond the numbers and the rules, let's talk about the emotional side of retirement. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about money, it's about living, it's about dignity. It's about knowing that after a lifetime of hard work, you can enjoy the simple joys without constantly calculating what you can and cannot afford. It's about being able to heat your home without fear, treat your grandkids on their birthday, have that Sunday roast, and still feel like life is yours to enjoy. But for too many, the rising costs of living are eating away at that dream. When energy bills and food prices keep climbing, the question becomes more urgent. Will my pension be enough? And the truth is, for many, it won't be unless they know how to access the extra help that's available. One of the biggest lifelines that goes unclaimed is pension credit. This is the benefit that not only tops up your income, but also unlocks a range of extras like free TV licenses, council tax reduction, housing benefit, and even cold weather payments. Yet despite all that, over 800,000 eligible pensioners in the UK still don't claim it. Some don't know it exists. Others wrongly assume they don't qualify. That's hundreds of thousands of people missing out on the very support that could take them from surviving to living with some comfort. And there's another change quietly happening that you need to be ready for: the digital shift. The DWP is pushing more and more pension services online. That might be fine for some, but for many older people, this creates new challenges. Emails get missed, login portals are confusing. And if you miss a form or an online check-in, your payments could be delayed or paused. This isn't speculation, it's already happening to real pensioners across the country. That's why it's so important to get support early. Whether it's from Citizens Advice, Age UK, or a trusted family member, to make sure the system doesn't leave you behind simply because of a misclick. The big question everyone has is whether the triple lock will survive beyond 2025. Politicians argue about it every year, and no one can guarantee what will happen in 2026 and beyond. That uncertainty can be stressful, but here's what you can control. You can make sure that while the triple lock is still here, you're getting every penny you're owed. Double check your NI record, consider topping up missing years, explore pension credit, and think about whether deferring your pension could make sense for you to secure a higher payment later on. Want to leave you with a story that truly captures why this knowledge matters. Last year, a couple from Manchester watched a video like this. They were living frugally, worried about every bill, and assumed there was nothing more they could do. After learning about pension credit, they applied and were approved. Their income went up, their council tax was reduced, and they received support for energy bills. The husband told me it felt like we could finally breathe again. We didn't feel forgotten anymore. That's the power of understanding your options. If you've made it this far, here's your reward. You now have the knowledge to completely reframe how you see your retirement. It doesn't have to be a time of constant cutbacks and worry. It can be a chapter of comfort, security, and even joy, but only if you act now, learn the rules, and claim every benefit and option available to you. 2025 is going to affect every pensioner in the UK. Those who prepare will feel the difference. Let's make sure you're one of them.